Good morning, Jim. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me, Stephanie.
Yeah, absolutely. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit this morning about the Never Run Out of People to Talk to program. I know I myself have done this program several times. I think I lost count. I'm at five, four, six. I'm not quite sure where I'm at with the program, but it has it has really become a part of my daily life without a question. I don't even think about it being a program anymore. It's just embedded as to how to connect with people, how to come up if you want to say scripts. I get a lot of compliments from people on the scripts that I make up for them to connect with their friends and different people they want to connect to. And it all came from this program. Just constantly doing your program over and over again and just feeling the ease of connecting with people. So can we talk a little bit about that this morning?
I would love to.
Okay. All right. So first of all, let's give our background because I think we have a really special, unique, interesting background that people really need to know how we actually have met and became friends. Is that okay?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Okay. All right. So I guess I'll give my version
Yes.
coming from the
Okay.
customer. So I received a private message from Jim Lupkin, I think about 6 years ago, 5 years ago at this point. And and he, first of all, I noticed it because his profile picture was orange and red, and it stood out. So that was interesting. I was on my way out of town. I think it was around Thanksgiving, if I believe correctly. And he introduced himself. He referenced a couple of friends, mutual friends we have, which made me chuckle because it was Eric Worre was our mutual friend, and I'm not quite friends with him, of course, but I am through personal or through Facebook. So by watching him and everything, so it kind of made me chuckle for him thinking that I'm mutual friends with Eric Worre. And then he started to talk about how we might know each other. And what you referenced, Jim, really stood out. One, that mutual friend that made me laugh, but two, you referenced your book that I may have seen at one of my company's conventions. And you showed a picture of it and you mentioned that Sound Concepts sells your book. Okay, so what that did for me is it made me really understand that you were watching. You paid attention to me, you knew what was going on, and so I felt very special. So I couldn't respond at that moment. So I remember responding to you and say, hey, that sounds interesting. I'd love to connect, but I can't right now. Let's connect later. Well, then you took it the next step and you friended me. So of course I friended you back because it was a very nice introduction. There was nothing weird about it. It was unique in every way and it made me remember you. But then you started to like and comment on my posts. I'm like, huh, well, he's really paying attention. I must be doing something correct to have this bigwig Jim Lupkin pay attention to my posts and what's going on in my life, both business as well as personal. So, of course, I started liking and commenting on your posts. And then pretty soon you connected with me again, and a couple weeks later, invited me into your free Facebook group that would give me a ton of nuggets and I would really enjoy it. So of course, I'm seeing the value in what you're offering. It's free. And why wouldn't I join? So yes. And then pretty soon you gave me a call letting me know you're going to be in town. Let's connect. Let's talk about what all this program can do for my business. And we really had, by that point, there was the know, like, trust, and respect. And all because you reached out to me directly, kind of became, it was unique, it was different, but you made me feel special. And since then, we've introduced each other to hundreds and hundreds of people, bringing them into your program. You've referred me out. We're now on an association board together. We've had dinners with each other and our families. It's an amazing, amazing relationship, both personal as well as business. And what I did not realize until I started really going through your program is you did your program exactly to a T.
Yes. So what you just shared is the system in action. And that's what's beautiful about it. So everything that people learn, it's not just it's training, it's how I live on social. So it's that everyday thing. You know what's interesting is I was sitting with somebody at a coffee shop and they said, "Does your system work?" And I said, "I'll prove it out right now." And that's what prompted me to go online and do the connection step, which you popped up, just to prove this person that it works. I seen it. I followed what I teach. I saw your profile picture. I was like, okay, this profile picture, the way you looked in a profile picture, I said to myself, that's the type of person I think I could be friends with. And then he's like, well, how can you tell from that? And then I taught him how you can do that. Then I looked at your about section, your profile. All of this took like a minute, 90 seconds. And I'm like, this is a type of person that I think I could be friends with, even if we never do business. I'm going to reach out to her. I reached out to you. I did the mutual connection with the Eric Worre Facebook business page, I remember. I did the call to action. You and I connected for the reasons that you just shared. So that right there was the connection step. Then you were busy, but I then immediately moved to the communication step, which was liking and commenting on your posts. Hopefully you would see my post. That was the communication step. Then very quickly, I mean, within weeks, very quickly, we jumped to the conversation step next, which was you and I having that one-on-one talk on Facebook Messenger, which led to a phone call, because we always talk about get it to the phone or get it to a video. And then from there, we moved right to the fourth step, which is community, which was the groups. And what I want everyone to understand now is I did everything that I did on my side was with the intention of, I never cared if Stephanie and I would ever do business. I made that initial decision of, can I be friends with this person, whether or not we ever do business? And the answer was yes at the beginning. That's why I was able to just be myself during the whole process and never make her feel like I'm trying to pressure her to do something, because I never cared if we worked together. I literally just wanted to be your friend, which to me is way more important than doing business together. So having that as your foundation is so important. And I love when you share that story. I mean, you and I've connected through the system. It's great.
We truly did. And the thing that I love about it is it really was an exact system on your end, but I didn't feel that way whatsoever on my end. And it was a very natural progression into a friendship. Well, let's go into business led to friendship, because it was that way. But both of us, even though the program is meant to be on a friendship and a relationship basis, both of us are very interested in business.
Mm-hmm.
And so there was nothing wrong with going right into business immediately between the two of us and that connection. And that, of course, has led to this amazing friendship that we have. So I love that. All right. So Jim, who would be interested in doing your program? What kind of people do you find like to do it and are successful with it?
Every industry, it doesn't matter the industry. Anyone that is selling a product or service to a consumer, everyone that's selling a product or service, even to another business, anyone that's selling something would benefit from this. If you are into now, pre-COVID, people could say they were on social, but maybe they weren't really dialed in because they were so busy doing it other ways. But now that we have COVID, even when COVID lifts and maybe things are not as scary, people are still going to want to have a foundation being in social media, because you just don't know what the future holds. So the importance of building through social media has increased drastically, which means a lot more people are looking for a way to build through social. And then what type of people would be good at this? I say people that want to get fast results faster than what they would normally get other ways. People that like to follow systems and not be all over the place and experiment with shiny tools, but actually want to follow a very structured system, step by step every day. This is what you do and don't deviate from it. And they have that mindset that they can stick to that. They will love this system.
I love that because a lot of people that I'm working with right now have been in the work field, and now all of a sudden they're finding themselves at home, either working at home or becoming a part of our program as on a part-time basis. But they're used to systems, they're used to programs, and network marketing doesn't always have an exact program to follow. So that's wonderful. Okay. What type of results should people expect?
Because it's a system, I can actually give you a predictable result, which is not normal in the training coaching world, because there's so many variables that make it hard to actually give a result. And that's why you don't see trainers and coaches saying you're going to get this, because there's, again, too many variables. But when you have a system that you follow, now I'm gonna get a little geeky on you right now. So what is a system? A system is when you have the proper process, the proper sequence, and the proper timing of doing something that if you keep doing that over and over, it gives you a predictable result. So in this case, the result is if you do the system correctly with a minimum of a couple hundred people, which is not hard when you're doing the system, you will convert 1 out of 5 of them to either a customer and or a distributor for your company if you're in network marketing. 1 out of 5. That's a very powerful conversion, but you have to do all 4 of the C's. Excuse me. I want to give you a quick example. There is a woman from Mexico that has been using this system for the last 5 months. And in the last 5 months, she's gotten 87 personal customers and 9 distributors that she personally signed up. And the first thing she said when I asked her, how'd you do it? She goes, I followed your system. In the beginning, I would only do like 1 of the C's, but then I started to realize, wait, I have to do all of them to make it all work together. If I just do 1 and then I do another one great and another one kind of halfway, I don't actually get the results you talk about. But when I do them all together, I'm actually getting the results now. And 86, 87 customers you personally sign up and then 9 distributors in 5 months, I think most people would be very happy with that.
I would be happy with that.
Yes.
Thank you for that. So my next question, which I think you just answered, was how long should people expect to receive results?
So it's a great question, because if you're really good at building relationships before we met, you're going to get results like within a week or 2, because the relationship is the foundation of this. If you're not good at building relationships before we met, you got to learn how to do that. And as easy as it sounds to build a friendship, it's actually not that easy for a lot of people. So if you're not good at building friendships, you need to give yourself a longer time. What I share with a lot of people, Stephanie, is if you follow the 4 C's correctly for 45 days straight, from that point moving forward, you will see a consistent signups every single month into your business, and you'll never miss. But that foundation part is a relationship. So great at relationships, you'll see results within a week or 2, because you'll be able to convert people very quickly into your business because you already have that friendship formed.
Nice, very nice. Okay, so I know I've done your program a couple different times, and now it's online. How long, because it's so very systematic at this point, how long does it take for someone to go through it?
So we have a level 1 certification today as of November 4th, 2020. Level 1, I encourage people to only spend 20 minutes a day on it, because the rest of the time they should be building their business. You don't want to stop completely to learn something. That's like if you go to college and you just focus on learning, well, you're not going to make money at your job. So you do 20 minutes a day. You also don't do more than 20 minutes a day, because there's a psychological reason on how much your brain can retain. If you start studying something more than 20 minutes at a time, your brain stops keeping it in there. So 20 minutes is the maximum. You do 20 minutes a day for only 10 days, you'll complete all of the videos and most of the book. So 10, 11 days is all it takes to receive your certification in the system.
That's excellent. Wonderful. And I remember when I was doing the program before, when it was not online, I always had 2 different devices so that I could watch the program and then actually physically do. Is that still necessary?
You can do that. Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I tell people is when you do that 20 minutes, before the 20 minutes starts, have the mindset of I need to teach somebody this later today. You're going to learn it completely different. Teach somebody on your team. Teach your child. Look at the mirror and teach yourself. It's just teaching somebody else, you will learn it differently. And then whatever you learn in that 20 minutes, go and apply it right away. Either apply it like Stephanie's talking about as you're learning it, or apply it later on, but apply it within 24 hours, because you really start to grasp this when you apply it.
Right, right. Excellent. Okay, now some of us have done your programs in the past before it was in the Facebook group and the way that it's set up now. What is the main difference between previous and today?
There's been quite an evolution just in the last 5 years. I think when we started off, there was a system, but it wasn't where I was saying step one, step two. It was more like a training format. And what I did was I was trying to train you on everything that I've known for 25 years. Not the best way to learn something, because every week I was talking about something different. And so in the beginning, it was a trainer type of mentality where I was just teaching you everything, helping you if you had an issue. And then that moved into, hey, we should have a system. The first system was in 2000 and I think it was 2017 is when we had that first online version, which is about 2 years, I think, after we met. That one was, instead of 10 days to learn it, I think it was something like 60 days to actually learn it. So you can imagine how much more I was giving you. So what happened was there was just too much information to really follow. And most people, what I heard back then, most people was saying, I'm so overwhelmed. I'm so overwhelmed. I have a full-time job. I have children. I have sports. I have all this stuff. And now I'm trying to learn what took you 25 years to learn. You're trying to like give it all to me. So in 2019, the thought was, how do we get it from 60 to 90 days down shorter? We got it down to 21 days, which I thought was a massive accomplishment, but you weren't happy still. And neither was any of the other leaders I was talking to. Like, it's still too long. I'm like, I don't know how to make this thing any shorter. And then I remember I was in Utah and I just had this aha moment. And out of that came the 10 days. And even today, I'm working on even smaller versions of maybe we give them just 36 minutes worth of very specific things and let them kind of go through it even on a smaller level. So what has been the biggest change in a nutshell is we teach you the most essential things today to get very quick results. And then the things that we try to teach you in the past, we give them at later times when you're ready to learn them. Just like when you're going to college, you take accounting 1, next year you'll take accounting 2, but accounting 1 will get you the results that you need today.
Wonderful. Okay, so that was my next question. And in the past, like I said, I've taken your program several different times, and every time I would do it, I would learn new things. I would be able to apply the different items, and following the different C's and putting them all together, just like that testimonial you talked about earlier. But now with your new levels, is that necessary? Or do you just go from level 1 to level 2 and just continue to go through the program?
You just focus on level 1. And then when you're ready, you go to level 2. Now, here's a way to think about it. Level 1 is powerful enough for majority of all the distributors in network marketing. I would probably say 90% will be satisfied with only level 1. I have a friend that started level 1 in January of 2020, so this year. Did it for 3 months. Something happened with the company. He had to go join another company because they shut down. He went to the new company. At this point, he learned the system for 5 months. Over the next 4 months, he personally signed up 108 customers. 108. If he would have taken the training back when I first met you, Stephanie, I don't think he would have done it. Or if he would have taken a training that was 3 months long, I don't think he would have done it. You know why? He would have felt too overwhelmed because I would have been teaching him too many things. Now it's easier for people to have success because it's the bare essentials of this is what you need to do to get the desired output. In this case, he got 108 customers and he signed up, I think it's 6 distributors. Fantastic numbers. Again, he wouldn't have gotten that 5 years ago, 3 years ago, because I was given too much information. Level 2, level 3, level 4, level 5. Some of you will want it. Very few will need it. And I only did the higher levels so that way, if you want to learn about something new, you can. But I tell everyone with level 1, Stephanie, you go through it, get certified. Make that the goal for the first month, even though it only takes 10 days. Just give yourself a whole month to kind of do it with your schedule. In month 2, only focus on the 1C called conversation. Watch those conversation videos over and over and over again, 20 minutes a day for a whole month. And then the 3rd month, do connection. The 4th month, do communication. And then the last month, do community. So each month you're committing to 1C. By the time you get done, that's 5 months, I think, you're going to know level 1 inside and out. And you should know it at the point where you don't even need to watch the videos anymore. You can literally recite the videos to yourself in the mirror. If you can do that, you'll have the type of results like these 2 people have. And then, and only then, go and do level 2. Do not do level 2 before that, because you're going to go back to what has happened 3 years ago and 5 years ago, which is you're learning too much and not applying it enough.
Interesting. Okay. I like that. Because I was visualizing myself going through it, the different times that I have gone through it. And I probably did put a lot on my plate in the beginning, learning the program. However, it gave me something to do every day. It pushed me. It helped me to reach out to new people. But then I would do it again, concentrate more on a different C. And then I would learn that type of the program, focusing on that. And then today, in today's world, although I'm going to be very curious going through it again for the 6th time. I'm not sure where I'm at. How much more am I able to just do it since I've been doing this daily? Am I doing it correctly, or am I going to continue to learn and to always get better? But I love how you've simplified it. And we had a lot of conversations about that, of just keeping it simple, keeping it easy, keeping the time that people put into this so small, but so that they learn and go into action, but continue to learn and get better and better every single day. And now I find that, it's a really easy program to just automatically sit down, get ready for the day. This is a part of what I do, and teach others how to do the same thing.
Yes.
So I'm grateful. I'm extremely grateful, because you have made what I do much easier. You have helped me to give other people a system, but then I don't have to think as one of the trainers teaching the program to the team, how am I going to do this? How am I going to reach out to new people? How am I going to continue to bring new people into our organization? I now have the program, and you taught me. I remember sitting in the dining room at one of the houses, and I was asking all kinds of questions, of course, because I have guru Jim Lupkin in front of me. So you just want to ask a ton of questions. And what I asked, a few of the questions were, what are some of the main things that I need to do to keep a team going? And do you remember what you said? Because I know Mark Aronell taught you in a very simple way. Do you remember, or do you want me to state?
I'm going to have you say it.
Okay.
Just to make sure we get it.
Just continue to do what you're doing, and continue to speak to more people, to introduce what you have, so that there are more people constantly coming into the organization. And just over and over and over. And I'm like, well, what if I have this problem? You're like, bring in more people. Well, what if I have this situation going on? Bring in more people. Well, what if this is happening amongst my team? Bring in more people. Every time you bring in more people, you solve all of those other issues that might be happening in your team and your structure. And it was just made everything. So now I know that, and I've seen it, I've watched it, I've done it, and I watch the team get over all of the different situations that come up when more people are continuously being added.
Yes, I love that. Yes. And, it made me think of if you focus on building relationships with everybody that you come across with, and then you do very certain steps. It's easiest on social media that you're building influence with all of these people. And influence is getting people to do something that you want them to do, in this case, to become a customer or distributor. And there's certain activities that you can do on social media to make that happen. When you're doing those two back and forth on social, at some point in the future, that person is going to have that life experience. And when they have that life experience, that means they finally understand why they need your product, or they finally understand why they need to make extra money. Something happened in their life that opens their eyes to why they need one of those two. As long as you have a great relationship and they see you having some great influence, they're coming to you. You can't speed up their life experience. They have to go through it themselves. So if you're constantly keep bringing in new people, what you're doing is you are opening up more opportunities of people having more life experiences in shorter periods of time. So if I talk to 50 people, there's 50 possibilities of someone having a life experience. But if I talk to 2,000, well, the odds of more people, or the odds of people having life experiences in a shorter period of time occurs. That's why you got to keep talking to new people. That's why the connection step of the system is so critical. You can't change people's minds. Most people, if not all people, they've already made a decision even before you talk to them.
Yeah, they truly have. Well, I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to being a part of the program, doing it again, and becoming certified in level 1 and level 2, and just continuing the program so that we can help more people never run out of people to speak to. So thank you so much, Jim, for this opportunity. Thank you for the program. You have made a lot of lives easier, but most importantly, you've made relationships better. And that's the biggest key with this, is not just learning how to speak to people, but how to speak to them correctly and how to continue that relationship. And I love that you and I are the perfect example of that, and how one message, one private message, has now led to many, many, many business opportunities for the two of us and together, but this friendship that has been developed between us and our families and bringing our friends together. So thank you so much for offering all of your training expertise, taking all of that information over the last 25 years and putting it together into a system that's easy for people to follow.
I love it. Stephanie, thanks for putting this together as well. I know that a lot of people are going to get value out of this session. And also, you will come across people that they're like a diamond in a rough. It's a small group of people that there's just something unique about them. They seem like they're naturally gifted at building relationships easy. Maybe they were born like that, or they've learned it over time. They're also really gifted at building that influence. Like, they truly walk the walk. They consume their product every single day. Like, they genuinely love it. And also the business, and also that persona about somebody. They have these amazing people skills, communication skills. You're in awe of them. Like, wow, they really got something going on here. You will come across a very small group of people like that. And I think the reason, Stephanie, that we've been able to expedite our relationship so quickly through the 4 C's, I mean, within weeks, is because you are in that group of people. You are in that group of people. And I think that's why you and I moved our friendship along so fast and talked about business the way that we did. So when you do come across the Stephanies of the world, my whole point here is, when you do come across the Stephanies of the world, one is it is very rare. I don't know what the percents are, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's like 1%. But when you do, grab onto them, make sure you build a great relationship with them. They are a diamond in the rough. And if you are in a business and they do work with you in that business, you'll end up doing some extraordinary things. So Stephanie, thanks for putting this together.
Oh, well, thank you. And thank you for helping me do some extraordinary things. So thank you, Jim. I appreciate your time today and looking forward to doing the program.
Awesome. Thank you.